Hello everyone, Mona Sarafandi with you, a robotic engineering student at Al Zaytuna University in Palestine, Salfit. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most interesting programming apps, which is App Inventor, as a project for computer skills material given by Dr. Said Kharraz. Without talking too much, let's get started. App Inventor is an application programmed by Google and currently supervised by MIT University. The application allows the user to program applications across the web simply by dragging and dropping blocks to make applications that works on the Android environment. Your app appears on the phone step by step as you add pieces to it, so you can test your work as you build, which is great. When you're done, you can package your app and produce a standalone application to install, which I'm going to show you when we finish our application. App Inventor development environment is supported for Mac OS X, GNU, Linux, and Windows operating systems, also for other similar popular Android phone models. Apps created by App Inventor can be installed on any Android phone. Opening my browser, here I'm writing the protocol, then the domain name for App Inventor website. As you can see, this is the main website for App Inventor. You can just get started or see some tutorials, or you can learn or teach if you were capable. If you open the tutorials, you could see beginner tutorials, youth tutorials, and other levels. To start, just click on Create Apps and App Inventor page will be opened in another tab. So as you can see, here is the menu bar, which includes many lists in App Inventor. First of all is projects. You can see all your projects. Oh, here is the splash screen. Okay, let's continue. In my projects, you can see the list of your project. You can start a new project, import project from your computer or your repository. You can notice here that the file extension App Inventor accept and import is just .aia. This is so important if you want really to work on App Inventor later. Here we have export all projects, import key store if you want to make your project more restricted, or export it or delete it. Here some choices are not available because you are not working on a certain project. You have to select one project to trash it or save it or rename it when we say save project as, checkpoint it, or export selected project from your computer. From Connect, you can find the emulator. You can use USB by USB cable connected with your phone or other choices. Here you can find the QR code or your code for your projects. Here are the settings, and then the help. You can go to library, forums, or report an issue. By the way, this page are connected with the main page. So if you click on tutorial, you will go to the main page. And yes, then there are too many choices. You can combine information and update, or you can show splash screen also, the screen which appears when you first open the App Inventor page. Here you also can see your projects, view trash, guide, and change the language. These are the language which are available in App Inventor, or you can sign out from your Gmail and go to another Gmail. Here is the list of your project. Here I made one project. It's such a calculator. Here are the blocks, editor, interface, and here there is another application for calculating the perfect way I have made in 2020 last year. Here the designer, here are the blocks, and then go back to my project. I can see my list. I can start my new project. Let me first start with a simple app in order to explain how App Inventor works. I'm going to create an image app which is designed to display a picture if the user click on a certain button. Let's start a new project and rename it, for example, image_1. You can notice when you write the name that your name cannot or shouldn't include spaces. Also, your project name shouldn't include dots or other characters. It should just include letters, numbers, and underscores if you want that. And now let's open our new project. First thing you will see when you open your new project is a new menu bar related to screens. From this menu bar, you can control the additional screens. You can see your screens, move between screens, add screens, delete them. And from here, you can also publish your projects to your gallery in the main site. Of course, now we are also in the first basic interface in App Inventor, App Inventor Designer. It's basically the place where you select the component for your app, design the interface of application for users. Next to it, there's a block. Can move us to the second basic interface, blocks editor for App Inventor. Okay, let's get started. Let's get know what Designer include. You can see that App Inventor Designer includes four main parts. The palette, which includes components group. The components that have similar tasks are classified under one group. For example, user interface include button, text box, image, and so on. For example, the second group is layout to control alignments, components, order in the user interface screen, for example. And many other groups and other tools or components. The second part is a viewer, where the result of your design appear for the user, includes all visible components in the final design. Third part is screen components, where you can rename programming names for each component and delete any if you want, or place files like images you maybe use, and etc. The final part in Designer interface is properties. As the name suggests, it includes all the properties related to certain tool, basically the chosen tool in components part. Here we go. I start to design my application. I have in the Designer interface just two components. The button that the user have to click on it, and the image that should be visible when the user click on the button. As simple as that. I started to adapt the properties for the button as I imagine or as I put in my mind. Then I start to adapt the image properties, the second component properties. I adapt the height and the width in a proper way, and then I have uploaded an image from my computer, any image, just to explain the idea of making this app. Then you can see here, you can scale picture to fit. You can change the visibility of this picture. I want to make my image visibility true or tick, as you can see. That's true that my image should be invisible at the first of the application, but I want all my components to be under the same common properties if I can, like the visibility for them. It's easy to you to make the common properties the same for your components, for your application components, because if you want later in the blocks editor to make one of the many visible or invisible, it will be easy to make one to remember that all of them are visible or all of them are invisible. So you want to make one of them in the opposite case of others. I hope you get that. Here I can change the programming name when I click on renaming the components in components list or components part to ease and facilitate collecting blocks on me. This is important, especially if you have a lot of components in your application. It will make the process of connecting blocks more easy. You can also add any other beautify components. I grab just a label and write in the text hello, It's just a beautify element in the application. You can add as much as you want from this, but the basic things is the most important things, the button and the image. Let's move to blocks. Let's move to App Inventor blocks editor by clicking on this small button next to designer button. Here are general programming commands. Here is the viewer. This is your playground. This is the playground for every programmer in App Inventor, where you collect your apps blocks logically as it demands. Here are specific programming commands for every component in the application. At the top, there is a bag to store any command if you want to grab it later. Here down, there is a container to delete blocks. Here are warnings about blanks blocks or programming mistakes. Something you have to take in account when you open your block editor, that you have to imagine what is going to happen when the user click on some button, on a certain button, or write, for example, in a text box in the designer view. You have to analyze what will happen to translate the action into programming sentences in order to be able to collecting the blocks in a proper way to get the suitable result or the wanted result from the application. You have to know that the events in App Inventor are the motor wheel for your application. So you have to take care of collecting your blocks in a proper way in order to get your application smoothly and correctly. Let's take this simple application as an example. From this application, I want to display a picture when the user click on the button. I have put it. So, first of all, I know that the picture should be invisible. So, I used to go to screen 1 in the blocks list and choose when screen 1 initialize, do something. I want from this event to make the image invisible. So, I will go to screen 1, choose the event when screen 1 initialize, do what? I will go to the image in the blocks list and choose set this image false. But what is meant by set this image false? I have to decide what property I want to be false. So from this small box, I could use the property visible. So it became, the result is when screen 1 initialize, do set image visible to false. So I could see that from this event, I put a condition and the condition give me a result that when screen 1 initialize, I will not be able to see the image. Then I'm going to go to the button I have bought. I will go to the button I have bought and grab another event from this button. I want from the application when the user click on the button to make the image visible. So I'm going to go to the button from blocks list and choose when block 1 click, do set the image. The property of the image is visible to true. I want it to be true, like visible, not invisible. So I put another condition. So I put another condition, and I see the result. I said when button 1 click, do the image visible, right? Okay. It's simple as that. It's so simple. But if you want to be more advanced, you have to train your mind to be more analytic. Okay. You can create a very simple app or even a very complicated one, but the point is in applying the idea you have in your mind about your application as smooth as you can in an advanced way. No matter how many tools you have used, as much as how much effort you have put to get this app in this smooth applicated result. These tools I have used in this app are the most common ones. Of course, there are other important tools easy to use, but these others are usually for certain apps or certain commands in apps. However, what I worked in helps you a lot if you are one who wants to start his programming path. Then you could go more deep. Personally, I think App Inventor is a great way to understand how commands be applied in programming, or how computers understand them depending on events. App Inventor also helps you a lot in improving your skills in analyzing and linking events in order to make the wanted application smoothly. If you are interested in App Inventor, you can go right now and try to create a simple application. I'm sure you will like the experience. Thanks for watching. Hope you like my video.